In this video, we will be adding rational numbers with flashcards, but actually we're going to tell whether or not the sign will be positive or negative when adding these rational numbers. We talked about absolute value being the distance away from zero, and when we have integers and we're adding and the signs are different, such as these two right here, we always subtract them and use the sign with the add-in with the greater absolute value, which is a distance away from zero. And if you take a look at this, 2 and 43/100 is further away from zero than 7/100. So in this case, after we subtract these, the final answer would be positive. How about this one? Now on these cards, we're going to have some fractions, decimals, and whole numbers. So you have to be able to have some number sense in order to solve some of these problems. So in this case, since both of the signs are positive on these, we will actually add the absolute values, and the sum will have the same sign, and in this case it'll be positive. How about this one? The final answer, would it be positive or negative? Yes, the final answer to this will be positive, because when you add two numbers with the same sign, you just add their absolute values and you keep the sign of those add-ins. In that case, was negative. What about this one right here? I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. What about this one right here? So this one, I have two fractions. Which one has the greater absolute value? 2 and 5/6 or negative 18/15? Which one is further away from zero? 2 and 5/6 is further away from zero because negative 8/15 is not even one whole. So the final answer after we subtract these two will be positive. What about this one? Final answer, would it be positive or negative? Which one has a greater absolute value? So in this case, the final answer will be negative. How about this one? The signs are the same, so we will add those two add-ins and keep the answer as negative. How about this one? The final answer will be negative as well. We add both of them and keep that sign. Okay, what about this one? We will actually subtract these two, because 11/12 is further away from zero than 7/12. 11/12 is actually close to one whole, and 7/12 is a little bit, is 1/12 over a half. And so since 11/12 is positive and this has the greatest absolute value, the final answer will be positive. Take a look at this one. Positive or negative? Now, you may not know right away. If you don't know which one is larger, you can use other reasoning. 8/8 is actually one whole. So negative 7/8 is it's just 1/8 under one whole, where 1/4 is only 25%. That's less than a half. So this one right here, negative 7/8, is further away from zero. And so after we subtract these two, the final answer will be negative. How about this one? Since you have a fraction greater than 1, it's important that you convert this fraction to a mixed number by doing division. 20 divided by 3. 3 goes into 20 6 times, which is 18. Okay, and to get to 20, there's 2 left over. So this is 6 2/3, and this one is 6 1/3. So this one is further away from zero. So when I subtract these, my final answer will be positive. So that's why it's important to know, or to have some number sense when doing these. Okay, what about this one? They both have the same sign. They're both negative. So I'm going to add them, and the final answer should be what? Positive or negative? Negative. How about this? Now, again, you can use what you know about integers. So 9/14. Well, if you look at 14, half of 14 is what? 7. So 7/14 is equal to a half. This is 9/14. So this is a little bit more than a half. Well, in this case, if you take half of 7, it's 3 1/2. right? So this is less than a half. This is more than a half. So after I subtract these, I use the sign of the one that's further away from 0, and the answer will be negative once I subtract those properly. Now, because I have a decimal and a fraction, it doesn't make a difference. You attack it the same way. This is 5 6/10, and this is 2 5/10. And this one is over 5 units away from 0 to the left, and this is over 2 units from 0 also to the left. So I will actually add these because they have the exact same sign, and the final answer will be negative. Two add-ins with the same sign, in this case, I will add them and the final answer will be negative. Now this one is special. What is the sum? I have a positive 10 and a negative 10. These are called additive inverses. I start at 0, I move to the right to positive 10, then I move back to the left 10, and I will end up at 0. 0 is neither positive or negative. How about this one? Final answer, would it be positive or negative? It would be negative. Same sign you add, the final answer is negative. 8 7/10 plus 2 1/10, the same signs you add. What about this one? Same signs you add, and the answer will be positive. This one will be positive as well. And the very last one, 2 as a whole number, and then you have negative 7/2. 7 divided by 2, 2 goes into 7 3 times. So this one is further away from 0. So after you subtract these, the answer will be negative. In this video, we added rational numbers. We actually found whether or not the sum would be positive or negative.